Oh, and we're back. You guys are gluttons for punishment. As promised, welcome to the worst magic cards in history, episode 6. Our first card up is Tybalt the Fiend-Blooded. Now I know before I even get started, some are going to go, oh my god, it's a Planeswalker, it's not bad. It's bad. Let me explain why. He starts at a 2 loyalty. For 1 loyalty, you can draw a card, then discard a card at random. Therefore, it negates the ability to discard some madness. For -4 mid-range, he will deal damage equal to the number of cards in target player's hand to that player. Okay, it's great if you can ever get to that ultimate ability. For -6 on his ultimate, you gain control of all creatures till end of turn, giving them haste, enabling you to swing and pulverize your opponent. You will never get to that point, because he will never last long enough on the board, and there are better revenues, i.e. Insurrection and Rise of the Dark Realms. I know some of you are going to disagree with me on this point, but I am going to negate and say, in my honest opinion, Tybalt the Fiend-Blooded is one of the worst Planeswalkers ever printed, and he has a fitting home right here in episode 6 of the worst cards in Magic the Gathering history. Sorry, guys. Yeah, he's pretty bad. Our next card up is Possibility Storm. Coming in at 3 colorless and 2 red, it's an enchantment that will screw you and everyone on the board. Whenever a player casts a spell from his or her hand, that player exiles it, then exiles cards from the top of his or her library until he or she exiles a card that shares a card type with it. I.e., if you cast a sorcery, you will exile cards from your library until you exile a sorcery. Then, you may cast that sorcery without paying its mana cost, or that instant. Then he or she puts all cards exiled with Possibility Storm on the bottom of his or her library in a random order. The benefits of this card do not negate the risks of what it's going to do. I don't like it. In an EDH format, I don't ever see it seeing play. In my honest opinion, Possibility Storm, I think, is one of the worst cards in Magic history. Some of you may disagree, and that's okay, and I'd love to hear your opinions down below as to why that is. However, I'm going to firmly place this card in episode 6 of the worst Magic cards in history series, for the simple fact that its benefit does not negate or outweigh the cost and the risk of what it's going to do to your deck. Just not a good card. Our next card up on our train wreck of hell is Chimney Imp, coming in a 4 colorless and a black for a 1/2 creature that's an imp, i.e. named Chimney Imp. If you play this card or argue this is a good card, we need to have a serious discussion in the comments section down below. He's a 1/2 flyer that when Chimney Imp is put into a graveyard from play, target opponent puts a card from his or her hand on top of his or her library. Worst card ever. Next up, we have Moonlace, coming in at 1 blue for an instant speed. Target spell or permanent becomes colorless. Really, Wizards? Really? Please, somebody explain to me why this card was printed. There's no benefit to Moonlace at all. Absolutely none. One of the worst cards ever printed by Magic. Period. And then we come to Ashen Highway, coming in at 3 colorless and 3 white mana for an enchantment, and all white creatures gain Planeswalk. See, even my allergies tell me this card is bad. And I'm sorry for that. I didn't mean to sneeze on camera. But this card is bad. This is... I don't even know how to explain my hatred for this card. No. Please don't ever play this. Alright, so Ye Who Walks the Path of Sorrow. Yeah, we've come to it. Sorrow's Path. It is a land that, oh god. So, you may tap and choose 2 target blocking creatures an opponent controls. If each of those creatures could block all creatures that the other is blocking, remove both of them from combat. Each one then blocks all creatures the other was blocking. Okay, that's a mountain attack just to say let's kill one another. Whenever Sorrow's Path becomes tapped, it deals 2 damage to you and each creature you control. You guys know my love for dual lands, you know my love for all Magic lands, but what in the hell was Wizard thinking with Sorrow's Path? Please, one of you guys, explain it to me. Alas, we have come to Apocalypse Chime. Now, you know Wizards of the Coast realizes they really screwed up with an expansion when they come out with a card like this that explicitly says, pay 2 colorless, tap it, and sacrifice Apocalypse Chime to bury all cards from the Homelands expansion. Now, there's a running joke by a lot of the Magic players that somebody should have just popped this card before Wizards ever shipped the Homelands expansion. It's cruel, I know, but it's good. Apocalypse Chime is one of the most hilarious and absolutely ridiculous cards I've ever seen printed. And it fits perfectly in our episode 6 of the worst cards in Magic the Gathering history. I hope you guys enjoy, because it sucks. Oh. If any of you play Homelands, I'm going to purposely play this. I'm going to purposely put it on the board and just wipe your entire deck if it's all Homelands. Trust me, it's coming for you. Oh, great. And then we have this guy. Saberson Raider for 2 colorless and a blue for a 1/2 Merfolk. That is worthless. When Saberson Raider becomes blocked, return it to its owner's hand. Why do you do this, Wizards? Why? Give me a cheap chum blocker, that's great, but why do I have to recast it every time I block something? Ah. I just want to eat it. I want to take every single one of these and just eat them on camera. And then there's Home Rid at 2 colorless and a blue for a 2/2. Sounds great, right? No, not at all. Wait till you hear what this card does. So, when he comes into play, you put a tide counter on Home Rid when it's brought into play and during your upkeep. If there is 1 tide counter on Home Rid, it gets -1, -1. Okay, so what was a 2/2? Now it's a 1/1. Great. If there are 3 tide counters on Home Rid, it gets +1/+1. Alright, cool. So now it's finally a 2/2. But wait, when there are 4 tide counters on Home Rid, remove them all. And it goes back to a 1/1. Wizards, what were you doing? Why? Not only is this card from Portal one of the most difficult and obnoxious cards to read, but it's absolutely pointless. And it just bears no play. No play at all. Ugh. And our next and last card in this train wreck is Trait Doctoring. Hey, we've been here before. I'll show you in a moment. Coming in at 1 blue for a sorcery that enables you to change the text of target permanent by replacing all instances of one colored word with another, or 1 basic land type with another till end of turn. Pretty freaking horrible. Hey, it has ciphering, right? That's something, right? No, nobody likes cipher. It's not. We've been here before, Wizards. We didn't like it before. We don't like it now. Want to know how I know we've been here before? I give you now, hey, Badulvian Shaman. And look, it's the same freaking ability, only this one had cumulative upkeep. Maybe they've learned something. No, I doubt it. Trait Doctoring is one of the worst cards ever. Please, guys, do me a favor. If you find this card, just burn it. Burn it, or better yet, send it to me and I'll eat it live on camera. I hate it. Hate everything about it. Thank you for watching episode 6 of the worst Magic cards in history. If you enjoyed this video, that means you're a glutton for punishment, and there's no therapy that will save you or help you. I hate it. I can't even believe I'm going to say this. If you want episode 7, please give this a thumbs up. Preferably, give it a thumbs down, like in Rome. Kill them all, slaughter them all. Yes, thumbs down, please. No thumbs up. Do not save the infidel's life. Thumbs this video down. I know one of you out there is going to give it a thumbs up, which means inevitably episode 7 will be coming soon. I hope you enjoyed episode 6 of the worst Magic cards in history. As always, if you haven't joined us on our Facebook blogs, please make sure you click that link down below. If you haven't followed us on Twitter yet, make sure you follow us on Twitter. If you want to get involved in our Patreon Rewards program, please click that link below. Hey, look, there's a bunch of links down below. Check them all out. Thank you for being a part of our Magic community. Thank you guys for being awesome and putting up with this horrible series of videos. It's brutal. It pains my soul as much as it pains your soul, but yet you keep liking it, so obviously you enjoy it. So we'll talk to you all soon. Take care, guys.